So, a couple of weeks ago, Tudor released this watch, the Black Bay 54 Blue Lagoon. I made a video about it, obviously, when the press images started circulating and they announced it. But I needed to see it in the metal before I fully made my mind up about it, which happened, and I love it. I mean, I am the exact target demographic for this watch, someone who likes a sporty diver, wants good specifications, but isn't afraid of a bit of elevation with the high polishing. Almost everything is right with this watch, but there is one thing that I think they're getting really wrong. Let's be nice, let's start with what is good, and I need to address all of my B-rolls in this video were taken with my iPhone camera. I saw this at the Tudor boutique here in Bristol. The staff are amazing there, the watch is amazing, but it is AD lighting and iPhone quality, and I'm so sorry. I feel like this isn't the representation of my work that I want to be showing, but... So right off the bat, this doesn't feel like the Black Bay 54 at all, which I think is one of the greatest strengths and weaknesses of this watch, but we will come back to that in the next section. This feels a lot more elevated, a lot dressier than the original 54, with the high levels of polishing and polished bezel, coupled with the 5-link bracelet. The blue dial is fantastic. It's striking. It's so light feeling. It feels like summertime. It feels like something you would wear with a blue shirt or a white shirt, going out to get cocktails on the weekend. For me, it is definitely the bezel that's the most to take in, and I think will be the most divisive. The dial is cool, the bracelet is cool, but the bezel it's a lot. It's very flashy. In some lighting, it can look almost black, and other times it's reflecting off everything. It's a lot flashier than I was ready for, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a different thing, and it's certainly a lot more feminine than the original 54. I wouldn't say it's a female-specific watch, but it will attract a lot more women than the almost austere and clinical original variation. All of the specifications are the same as the pre-existing Black Bay 54, so a 37mm case diameter, 11.2mm thickness, 200 meters of water resistance, and the same movement as well with the MT5400, which is COSC certified. The Blue Lagoon is a part of the Tudor Daring collection, which basically takes pre-existing Tudor models and makes it the weirdest variation of that, maybe experimenting with material finishing and always with a statement dial. So you can kind of think of this as almost taking the chassis of the Black Bay 54, but that's basically it. Everything else is pretty much different. Only the hands and the indices are the same, and that's because it is a Black Bay. I think the Daring watches is something different people will have different opinions about. It seems to be Tudor's outlet for experimentation and being about as weird as one can be in the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation. I think this is a particularly interesting installment, being the first that is for the Itty Bitty Wrist Committee, and certainly the most flashy yet. There's a heck of a lot right here. There's a lot to like. I really like this, but you probably didn't click on this video to hear what's right about it. You probably clicked on this video to find out what's wrong about it. And this is something someone else said and I just can't get it out of my head. They said that they are confused about this being listed as the Black Bay 54 when it doesn't look or feel like the Black Bay 54, the pre-existing Black Bay 54 at all. Tudor watch categorization is something that people have complained about for a while now, myself included. There's a lot of Black Bay going on. It can be hard to navigate what people mean when they say Black Bay, and then now they're adding in weirdo versions like this to very small watch families, watch model families. I can absolutely see why this adds to the already existing confusion. But the more I stew on this comment, the more I'm not sure if I agree. I kind of like the idea of stripping it back to what is a Black Bay 54? And like I said before, paring it back to almost just the chassis. Is it still a Black Bay 54? It has the same specifications, dial configuration, proportions, technically, although the proportions feel different because of the bezel, and the movement is the same. but it certainly doesn't feel like the Black Bay 54 or the general understanding of that model family. It almost reminds me a little bit of the Rolex Submariner versus the Yachtmaster. This new 54 feels kind of like a more posh flash variation, while the older one is a bit more tool and a more rugged offering. After stewing on this and overthinking it for an unreasonably long time, I have decided I think it's completely fair to categorize this and think of this as the Black Bay 54, but I think they should have done this a little bit further down the line. Maybe have a dark blue 54, or even a red now that Tudor is doing that. Something that still feels masculine, sporty, but still unisex. Really defining that collection first, and then release the more feminine, light, breezy, the easy breezy model that this is. I like this new Daring 54. I really like it for myself personally, but I think the clientele for this will be niche. It might have been wiser to build a stronger identity around this model family before introducing a Daring variation. This is just so different than the pre-existing 54, which isn't a bad thing. I really like this. I think you could justify owning both. I'm gonna try to justify owning both. But yeah, what do I know? I'm sure the esteemed people at Tudor have thought longer and harder about this than me. These were just some of my thoughts, and I would love to know yours as well. What do you think to the Blue Lagoon? Do you think it's a little bit girlier? Do you think this was the right time to release it? Do you wish they had released something else before this? I don't know. Let me know in those comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And now, Pope tier patrons, come on, get their names on the screen. You are amazing. If your name's on the screen, you're amazing. Well, I gotta be honest. All Gringa patrons are amazing. Everyone who supports me over in Gringa Town, you're the best, but creme de la creme. Oh, you're on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting my weird little channel. I hope you keep enjoying it. And even if you don't keep enjoying this channel, I hope you keep enjoying watches forever. They're fantastic, fantastic little timekeepers. And I love that it's my full-time job to talk about them. That's awesome. Okay, you're awesome. Thank you so much, guys.